Hi guys, so today I have some new items from LDRS Creative to share with you. These items were sent free of charge from my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So I have a few things here because I have the Dahlia stamp set, and it's a really nice sizable stamp as you can see there. I'm going to use that, of course, as my focal point here. I might use some of the other stamps that are in this set, but for now I'm going to use that guy. And then we have the die set that would cut out the word amazing if you wanted to. And then we have the Dahlia and then that little guy that's right here. I pulled out the diagonal stitched layered frames. This is the smaller set. There's a larger set. This one has the 2.8 by 4.5 or 4.15 inch outer, and then they get smaller concentrically from there. And then they have another set that's larger from this up to an A2 size outer frame. So I'm using the smaller set. And then I pulled these guys out because I think I want to maybe pop some of these on here, or at least show you how to use them as I'm speaking. This is the Sentiment Stack 2 die. And then there are two separate stamps that you can pick up to go along with that. There's Happy Me, Happy You stack. And I think I've read through these before, but you shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did. You make me happy, have a happy day. Just really sweet things like that. You know, I'm doing a little happy dance, sending you happy thoughts, you're the best. And this one's called Friend Stack. This one says, friends don't let you do stupid things alone. You're flipping amazeballs, you know, just really quirky, cute things that you're my sidekick for life. You are not normal, and I love it. I love you even when you're hangry. Just really sweet, fun sentiments on that one. And then I think for the background, I'm going to use this Songbird Fields paper. I did grab this one. This is the 4x9, so like a slimline size, although I do have the 6x6 paper also. And I think I was going to color in my Dahlia in like a coral color, and I was wanting to use possibly, let me see if I can find it, this blue background. Just kind of soft in the background of my card. So just for the card base right quick, I did bring out some other items that I need. I have this guy. I'm going to do like a mini slimline. I think that'll be fun. We haven't made one in a while. A little mini slimmy. So this paper is 6 by 7 inches. So generally with the slimline I do 8.5 by 3.5, and so this is 6 inches tall. So for a mini slimline I like the 3.5 but by 6, so 3.5 by 6. You know, you can do whatever you like. This is just kind of a made up size here. So this is on the 7-inch side, again it's 6 inches tall, and we're going to score it at 3.5. So it's just a little shorter. And so I'm going to cut down this blue paper to go ahead and mat on this, just leaving a small border. You guys know I don't mind working at 1/8 of an inch, so if I have 3.5 by 6, I'm going to go 3 and, let me see, 3/8 by 5 and 7/8, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, so we have that here, and I'm just going to glue that right on top right now just to put that together, and then I'm going to do a little stamping so we can color in our image, and then we'll pull our card together from there. So let's put this little guy on here. If you don't like 1/8 of an inch, then you know you can do 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. Of course, it'll leave a lot more white space around the edge. So there's that guy, and then I'm just going to stamp the Dahlia itself, and then we'll go in and do the stack sentiment later. But for now I have this photopolymer stamps. They smell amazing. I always gotta give a little whiff. Love it. And I just have a scrap of paper here actually. This is marker paper, and looks nicer on the other this side. Let me see if this will go on there. And the dies should be right on the edge of this, so I'm going to go ahead and use the scrap of paper, but if you want to leave yourself a little more room, definitely do that. Let's see here. Just going to place these. Ooh. Okay, and then I'm just going to pick this guy up. So again, what happens with these guys is they're a little sticky when you get them. They have a dispersion layer on them from when they were created. You can either rub with your stamp pad. You can, you know, put them on your sweater. You can use maybe a little alcohol wipe to get that off, or just stamp it a few times. A lot of times when it's a stamp like this, where it's like a detail stamp, I don't really take the time to do that, but One should. So right now I'm going to do this. I'm going to stamp it and then restamp it if I need to. My little tool. And I always keep this linked in the description box. People ask about it all the time. It is an LDRS creative item, the Stampendable. And ooh, I can see it's a little bit dry. Oh, look at that. So pretty. So I'm going to do it one more time. Again, kind of scrubbing that layer off there. So with photopolymer stamps, they're a little more like tough, like thicker stamps. So if you want to push down on it, you can definitely do that. I know with acrylic stamps, sometimes when you push down on it, it'll warp it a little bit because it squishes, it gives. But these guys are pretty firm, so I'm just giving a good squish in the areas that I missed. And I think we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. Okay. So you do want to let that set up and dry really well for it to be alcohol proof. I was using an LDRS Creative Hybrid ink, and to use the alcohol markers on it, you want to make sure that's dry. Okay, and I just grabbed some green and some coral markers. So again, for my little leaves, you know, I just, if they're small, I usually just do 2 colors, but let's go ahead and do grass light. And let's say like this leaf, I'm just going to come in, put a little bit. You guys know I just add a little color here and there. I'll use the darkest one down the center, maybe up these little vines. A little bit of the medium, a little bit further out from there. And then I'll take the light one back through. And I would do the same thing for all the leaves, the stem, anything that's like green. For the dahlia itself, you know, we can look at the picture, like the image that's here. Where is that? And you have an idea of where you might want to put your highlights and things. Some people do it however it is that you like to do this kind of thing. I usually go light, dark, medium, and then light again. You know, whatever it is that you prefer to do. So let's pretend I'm in here. Like, I'll go ahead and do the light as far out, not all the way to the end, because that way I'll preserve a little bit of the light color at the very tip. And I'm just, you know, you can do a couple at a time, or however it is that you want to do this. Of course, I do a quick thing here, and then we're going to go into the darker shade. And I'm just going to pull that in here. And I'm working kind of quickly because, you know, I want to use the shading, get that blended really nicely, but you can work with one petal at a time. I'm just trying to show you how you can do a larger area. And then I'll go into the medium, and then I'll pull that from the dark area out. And I'll do this any area that has petals, just like this. And then I'll come back in with the light. Now you definitely want to see how Angie colors her dahlia. She does a beautiful job, and she does more of a technique where you're kind of flicking the colors instead of like having a harsh, well, mine's not really harsh, I kind of do the same thing, but it's a different technique that she will show you. And then again to the edge, so that this is going to be much lighter since we didn't color it the first time, right? If I had brought the light color all the way to the tips, it wouldn't have preserved any of that light look to it because it would have already been colored from before. And that's just a quick and easy way to get some depth. So I'll do that again here, just, you know, in the back area. When it kind of comes to the center again, at the very, very center where it's touching like the middle of the flower, I'll use the darkest color, but really mostly it's going to be light. Same thing here, I'll still put a little bit of the dark just right in here, and I'll be back. Okay, I just finished that up, and I'm just going to take my dye. Now again, whenever you're using alcoholic marker, you're supposed to use it so much that it goes through to this side, like almost like you're seeing it on this side, but you know, I just do as much as I feel comfortable with. Oh, it's so funny because I wanted a coral flower and I just realized this is also a coral example, but you can see how they're different, you know? Whatever it is that you want to create, of course. Okay, and with this one, let me see. Oh, we can see really well, pretty well right through there. So what I'm just going to do is eyeball it. Sometimes I make an aperture, which means I'll run the dye through a scrap piece of paper with like a little hinge of tape, and then I bring that back. Don't, you know, take the dye off. It'll just make a little die cut area for you, and you just hinge it open like this, and you can see through your paper and kind of line it up over this, and then put it right back down, and you'll know exactly where you're cutting. But again, I mean, I can see pretty well what's going to happen here, so I am good with that. I'm just going to line this up as well as I can, and I'll tape it down. And I'll run this through, so we'll have that. And I'm also going to take a moment to run through one of these guys, I think from some white paper. And I'm just not sure which one I want to use. Let's see. So this shape will kind of be here. If I had a piece cut here. Oh, we can do something like that. Or this next size smaller. Or you can layer those up too, right? If I want to do like a blue frame and like a white frame or something else that brings out some of the blue, maybe so it brings out some of the coral. However it is, you know, and then have this guy. You know, I didn't think to do that, but you know what? I might. So either way, I'm going to run this through maybe like a corally kind of color and this one through a white piece of cardstock, and I'll be right back. Okay. Just gorgeous. Let's see. Let's put this over here. And I might do a little stamping on this background paper, but I haven't even put these together to see what it is that I want to do, but look at that. So pretty. Yeah, I'm glad I went with the two. I was just going to do the one white frame. Ugh, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, this is going to work out perfectly. Let's see here. We have this. We have this. I just kind of wanted this as like a little mat behind this one. I also was thinking about stamping a little bit on this. So let's see. If I had this and this, and I kind of want to use the word amazing. Just so it's in the background. It doesn't have to be something that's like, oh yeah, you super see that says amazing, you know. Just like that, something like that. Okay. So let's stamp this. Oh, it smells so good. On here. And I'm just gonna stamp it there, just so the word is there, but it doesn't, again, it's just kind of a background thing. All right, so I'm just gonna hook that up. Using an entirely different stamping tool. And since I am using this one, I will tape this down a little bit. I'm trying to think if I want it really black and white or like kind of fading in the background. Maybe I'll stamp it in like a blue tone. Yeah, why not? More of a teal blue. Let me choose a blue tone ink and I'll be right back. So it was the one I chose the first time. But again, first time using this, I want it to be very light. So let's see how that goes. I just want it to be kind of in the background. Here we go. Yeah, something like that. So it's just a little something extra. Okay, let me clean this up and I'll be right back. Let's bring these guys back. And one on top of the other. Again, we can have dimension here. You can just be flat. You know, whatever it is that you would want to do. I think I'm going to put these both flat. And maybe we'll pop up our flower, or maybe we'll just pop up the sentiment that's going to come in just a second. And we have that. And then I'm just going to glue this just about here. Yeah, somewhere like in there. Okay, I'll glue that down and I'll be right back. Okay, so it'll be something like this, and then we have our little sentiment pieces. So what I'm going to do is take the Happy Me, Happy You stack, and I'm going to stamp this. Oh, I guess I should have gotten some paper out. I think it'll work on here. Let me see. I think we might. Okay. And I'm going to stamp this with some VersaFine ink, which actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do VersaFine, and then since VersaFine stays wet for a little while, I'm going to also heat emboss it. So let's get this on here. Let me grab my stuff for embossing, and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about the glare there. Okay, So we have this. And again, this is the first time using these. But again, I don't take the time to prep them, but you do want to take a little moment. Especially if it has a large surface, not just like lettering or fine things like this. And so we're inking that whole thing up, making sure you're getting the little squares inked up. So those are your registration marks that are going to help you. Alright, my heat tool fell in here. Oh, looking good. I'm going to get that middle section one more little push there. Alright. And then I'm just going to take some clear embossing powder. I'm just going to put this little piece of paper back here. Since I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here now. But you can just wait for it to dry. You don't have to, obviously, do the embossing. Okay. And then I'm just going to hit this with my heat tool to set that. And I'll be back. So now, we're just going to take our die. And since we have those little square registration marks and everything's good to go, what you're going to do is just eyeball this. And then you have your little marks, you know, set up. Now, I did use a scrap of paper, so these last two, I might cut down on my own, but, and then since I used my heat tool, it does make your paper kind of want to do some funky stuff. But there's that. I think we're good here. Again, just making it eyeballing, making sure we're good and straight, maybe a little bit further down like this. And I'm going to really tape that down and run this through, and then we're gonna have all these sentiments cut out all at once. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay guys, oh my gosh, it's so cute the way they just all come out. Look at that, all of these perfectly stamped and cut sentiments. Of course you can keep them, you know, I put them maybe in a little baggie or somewhere with other ephemera just so you have them ready. And actually even these cut really nicely. I put them right at the edge of that paper. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pick one or two, and I will be right back. They're so fun to play with, you guys, because like, you know, you make me happy. You know, have a happy day. You're the best. You make me happy. I mean, I'm doing a happy dance. Have a, you know, sending you happy thoughts. You make me smile. I mean, those things can all be put together and be really sweet. I think I'm gonna go with you're the best and have a happy day. So it's just like a really sweet kind of note card. And I'm gonna use 3D glue gel, I think, on all of it. So I'm gonna put a good amount here. And then I'll use the same stuff to help me pop up my little sentiments. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to push that down too much yet. Let's say some glue gel here. And maybe here a little bit less because it's going to be touching this other area. Like that. And then this guy. A little bit less on this side. And I'm just going to have kind of fun with it. Let me see, do I want this? Oopsie. Maybe over here I'll clean up that little bit of glue that I got on there. Just to give it some movement, you know? And I'll clean up this little area of glue. But there it is, guys. Hope you like what I came up with here. I'll have the links in the description box. Thank you so much, LDRS Creator, for sending these items for review. Really fun. I love these. So cute. Just pop them all out. Hold on to those for another project for another day. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.